Hi and welcome to my review videos. Normally this week I was going to do the M41, but when I checked my replays it got deleted and that was pretty stupid, so I'm doing the Conqueror instead, and the M41 will be coming up next Wednesday then. But the Conqueror, for me, it's a great tank. I don't know, but many people hate it because of its poor armor, and it has really poor armor. It even has less armor than the French one, because the French have more bouncy armor than the British one. But everything will penetrate you. Like in tier 8, at 130mm sloped armor could save your life sometimes, but no, it's just useless. This is the reason why so many people hate it, but the plus side is that it has a good penetration gun, like 296 penetration. 269 I mean, not 296. The average damage though is pretty low, but it's much better than the one for the Conqueror. This is the gun for the Conqueror, and what you saw here is that the penetration wasn't that good, and it had a really poor damage. And tier 9, like 230 damage per shot, was like you're shooting paintballs or shooting a water cannon. That was just horrible. But what it does had was a good reload time. Like what I remembered from my mod was that I was 5 seconds, 5.6, 5.60 seconds reload, I think, and that's pretty high. But on a heavy tank you want something, you do a big push, like a big blast, and then you have to reload and try to get in cover. So I go with the 120 instead. The damage is pretty good, like I said before, and the HE shells has a good penetration, like 120mm penetration for an HE is pretty good. The turret is the big weak spot on this thing. Of course the turret looks really good, and I have the feeling that if a tank looks good, it plays easy, and that's what I like about the Conqueror, because of its good looks, blah. But only 152mm penetration. With sloping like a 220mm, but everything can penetrate you in the turret. What I do have to say is that it's not really much man or in the turret. Like I've had so many people shooting my turret, but never really got lots of critical hits of it. That's a good thing of it. What it does hit on this tank a lot is the gunner, because the gunner is in the turret and it's like the only one who's in the turret. But that's a good thing. The engine you don't really need. Like, I want to say it, if you have the Conqueror you need to research lots of things, and I'll go for the first thing. Of course the tracks is the first thing you want to research, then go for the turret, then go for the gun, and then go for the engine. Yeah, go for the engine. The engine is the last thing you want to have, because this tank is pretty much the same. That extra horsepower, you don't really notice it unless you're turning. The only thing what increased is the turning speed and climbing up hills, but the top speed is still easy to hit. And that's one thing also that from the other British tanks were always so slow, and this tank is pretty good. It has a really good maneuverability. What you want to use here is the plus 20% to accuracy during turret movement, and turret rotation is something you want to use maybe. Minus 10% to load time, because this gun is already so fast reloading. You can even increase it more with a large caliber tank gun runner. Camouflage net, because it's cheap, but I don't go for this. Is the first time I don't go for the enhanced gun laying device, because it has a really good zooming in time, aiming time, so I don't go for that. But what you want to use on the commander is repairs. Sixth sense, of course, is one of the first thing on research. Jack of all trades, it's always handy to have more experience on your other crew. Repairs, of course. The repairs I don't recommend anymore, because the tracks don't really get hit a lot like the previous tanks. Like the Black Prince and the Churchill 6 were just horrible, because their tracks were sticking out. You don't need it anymore, but I've already researched the repair skills, so nothing against it. But what you want to use here is snapshot, of course, because this turret rotates pretty fast. Of course, it's slower than the previous one, but it's still a very fast rotating turret. And armor, because this gun is pretty accurate. The accuracy of this gun is really good, I have to say. Like 0.32. That's almost a sniper gun, so that's why I want to recommend to not move in front of you. Let the Russians do the work, because they have horrible accuracy and do lots of damage, but keep the British away from the team and let them act like snipers. And you see here that the aiming time is really good, so that's, if you have the plus 10% to aiming time, let's do the math, that is 1.7 seconds instead of 1.9. You're not going to notice that. Let me say it. Camouflage maybe go also for. This tank only has 4 crew members, so you don't need lots of experience. Clutch breaking, of course, this is the first thing I always research for TDs and heavy tanks and mediums also. Off-road driving, controlled impact, because this tank is pretty light, like 68 tons. It's an average weight, but not like you're going to do lots of damage if you crash into someone. So I go for controlled impact. I think I'm going to research it as a next crew skill. And what you want to use here is relaying. Of course, you're a heavy tank, so you're always inside your team. And then you extend the signal range of your team, and your team can do more damage. Extended thing, no, not really. Adrenaline rush, but that's it. And go for the common skills. But that's it about the tank, and I'm going to tell more in the gameplay about it. So see ya. So hi and welcome back to the gameplay. This is the tank in battle, and as you see, it's a really nice looking tank. What I like about this tank, and I don't know, maybe you know, but I have no idea, but what are these tubes on the barrel? I'm still wondering what those tubes are, like the M1 Abraham of the American, now the tier 12 or something, has also one of these tubes, but I have no idea what they do. But it looks very good and I like it. I don't know, but there was a T-34 writing in the chat that he got 1312 experience or something like that, and that's not a good amount of experience. I'm going to speed up this part. Yeah. So here we are, and what you saw, that the speed was not that bad. It's pretty good, it's not that bad, but hey, it's average. So you have Conqueror. I'm trying to snipe some of these people because the sniping is really good, but if you compare this to the E75, like this tank is the best thing you can compare to the E75, because it has the same speed, it has the same amounts of hit points. The armor on the E75 is better, the penetration is the same. The reload time is a little bit better on this tank, but I don't know. But for me, the E75 is better because it has more armor and it has more damage per shot. But I don't get why these people so hate and love this tank. I love it because of its good looks, and it's easier to play, like I said before. And I saw that my team was camping, but they should have moved up. I thought I could have hit that die 2 there, but I'm not. Oh, I did. It's 489 damage, that's average. I mean, you can do from 300 to 500 damage. And then sometimes I even do like 320, that's just to laugh and a tier 9. See, 300 damage, that's poor. That's not good at all.
Enemy armor is hit.
422, that's a bit better there. But yeah, about the thing was what with the British were in the past were that they were they were slow as hell, but like only 20 kilometers an hour, and nearly every British tanks, like now the new British TDs, they are very slow also. Um, but that's something you don't have anymore on the Conqueror. Like the Carnival or the Carnival, I still don't know how to pronounce it, but the Carnival was not that bad. It went like 32 kilometers an hour, but the engine was not that good. And now with the upgraded engine, the maneuverability got much better on this tank. And what you saw here, that you see, like I've 2 shots in my turret and they are both penetrated. Of course he hit that spaced armor of my cannon, so that's the reason why it didn't do any damage to me. And I got spotted here, good thing to know, from 6th Sense. Some guy told me in the comments that I have to watch my volume because my volume is always too high of the game, so I put it down a bit. I hope it's going to turn out well in the editing software, because otherwise I have no idea what I have to do to turn down the game volume.
We nailed it back.
288, it's a bit less, but it's pretty good. The reason why I didn't move it up here is because this big Jagdtiger was matching me. And everyone did good in the gameplay. Like if you see the end of the battle, everyone got a decent amount of experience. And I tried to hit the ISU, but I couldn't.
Enemy is hit.
Yeah, I hit this spaced armor also. The reason why you do sometimes those non-penetrating shots is because, and lots of people don't know it, that your gun has also hit points, like 320, and if someone hits your gun, it takes off the HP of the gun, and but it will not do any damage to you. And if they hit you again and do more than 220 damage, they will hit your gun, and it will be disabled, or the accuracy will be a little bit off.
Penetration.
And that's the reason why I do so many non-damaging shots. The T-29 was pretty stupid to show its size of the turret, because that's the weak spot of the T-29, the size of the turret, and the turret is so big. I tried to take on the Tier 9 first because he was the biggest problem, but I couldn't hit him, so I took down the T-29 first, and then I went for the Jagdtiger. I've got 1650 XP of it. That was pretty stupid, because the Jagdtiger has poor hull armor, but where the turret normally used to be, it has good armor, but really good armor.
Find another target.
And that's it. The game is ended, and someone will take down the artillery, and the game is over. And I tried to get some cap points, trying to get some extra experience, but that's the gameplay, and I will see you in the garage later for some more talking. So welcome back to the garage, and some things I want to do is compare it to the E75 before I quit the episode. So this is the E75. The difference between it is that the E75 has less hit points. In the past it used to have more hit points. Looks like they have nerfed it. That's the first time I see that. The engine power of the E75 is 1200, not 650. I know that from my experience. Traverse speed is better on the Conqueror, so that's one thing where the Conqueror beats the E75. That's the maneuverability. Standard shell damage, I know that the E75 has more damage than that. It has around 500 per shot. And the penetration is the same, I think. The penetration of the 12.8 is 246. Looks like the penetration of the Conqueror is better. So that's why the Conqueror is better, because of the penetration and maneuverability. I never knew that. That's a good thing to know. But overall, the Conqueror, it's a good tank. It has decent maneuverability for the heavy tank. What I know, no. And it has a good penetration gun. I think it's the highest except for the tank destroyer from all the heavy tanks. I don't know. I think the M103 is the same, but I'm not sure. The damage is low, still low. It's typical British, but the damage is gotten better. Like if you compare it to the tier 8 or something, damage is much better than it used to be before. Armor, paper. Everything can penetrate you in tier 9. Try to hide your turret. Don't try to stick out your turret, because you're just going to receive lots of critical hits. So don't do that. It's a good looking tank, that's also a good thing to know, but that's it, and I'm going to end this. So democration rules, and you can choose a tank for my garage. What do you want me to review next? Choose a tank for my place in the comments below, and also try to check out my channel so you know what tanks I've already reviewed. Next week I'm going to do the M41. The M41 is a tier 5 American SPG. Normally I used to do it today, but the replays gotten deleted because of the new update, so I will do it Wednesday, and I will see you. Bye.